My name is Lutfullah. I'm from Afghanistan, but currently I live in Canada. I study economics and governance at Huron University, at the University of Western Ontario in Canada. So I was in Afghanistan last summer. I went there after my graduation from high school at UWC Robert Bosch College in Germany. I wanted to stay for a few days with my family, but then I got stuck. My flight was on the 16th of August, but the government collapsed on the 15th. I went to airport that morning. It was a crazy situation, very devastating scenes to see people all around the airport and gunshots from the Taliban, from the US military. Very, very difficult situation to see, and I wasn't able to enter, and I made a decision to stay and go back home. And then I stayed at home for 2 months, and then I was very lucky and privileged enough to get evacuated with my family members and a few other friends to Pakistan with the help of my school. It was very disappointing, even some sense of betrayal from the international community, especially by the Afghan forces and people who work within the international community for the last 2 decades. I could see fear and disappointment in the face of my family members who worked in the government as well previously, my friends and the people in my neighborhood. I have never seen those reactions and such disappointment. The situation was very difficult now as well, because now with all the NGOs and most of the international community organizations out of Afghanistan and restrictions and sanctions on banking system, it made it very difficult for people to continue their lives normally. The current reports from Amnesty and UN shows that there are a lot of detentions, a lot of human rights abuses, and the Taliban that they cannot keep their promises and they haven't kept it yet. UNICEF, I think, reported that 3 million Afghan girls cannot go to schools. If you cannot imagine like how it will feel for young girls who went to school like for 6 years, 7 years, and after that they cannot go to school. I still have a few siblings in Afghanistan with their families. They finished mid school. One of my sisters was a teacher. Now she's at home. People haven't received salaries and wages since 15th of August. It's a very devastating situation to see. People lost hope. People fought for 20 years. We a lot of sacrifices. At least every family has one family member who lost their lives. Some of them even 3, 4. But at the end, Taliban are back. Human rights, women rights abuses, and a very devastating humanitarian situation. We had a lot of flooding this week in Logar province and Nangarhar and Ghazni province in central Afghanistan, and hundreds of people died and their livestock and livelihoods are destroyed. No humanitarian aids can go to Afghanistan easily, as well as the government cannot do anything. They're not capable, they don't have the expertise to help people. The earthquake a few months ago was also devastating. You can't plan, and even sometimes you can't envision the future. All of my friends who were studying abroad, we all had plans to go back home. I went to home like 2 times during my studies abroad, but now we don't know what can we do. We don't know that if we can return, or the Taliban will be in power, or if they will allow other people or other minorities or other different political ideologies to work with them. So it's a very uncertain situation. My family is in Pakistan still, and the rest of my families are in Afghanistan. My sisters also, their future is not clear. They were at school. My youngest sister was in 10th grade. My other sister was in university 3rd year, but now they have completely different future waiting in Pakistan. And waiting for their migration papers to come to Canada. And it will be very difficult transition as well. And it's not only like my family, millions of family migrated to Pakistan, Iran, to Europe, to US and Canada, and they all need to start from zero. I mean, concern is mostly global terrorism back to Afghanistan, and also Afghanistan turning to a proxy field and superpowers fighting here, like examples of Syria and other countries we have. A few months ago, we all heard the news of Al-Qaeda leader in downtown Kabul, which is like a very secure place. It shows that Taliban still have ties with those groups. And I'm personally very afraid that in a few years, if nothing changes, Taliban and other terrorist networks will have very strong ties in Afghanistan, and they will have groups and regrouping again. And this will lead to more war, more fighting, people dying. And until we don't have peace and security in Afghanistan, we can't have good education, and we cannot help people to get out of poverty. What international community and those people who have privilege and those people who have resources can help Afghanistan. We need to come together, bring the neighbors of Afghanistan, especially Pakistan and Iran, to be serious and to be honest with people of Afghanistan, and press the Taliban to be more open, to be more inclusive, to give the women rights, to human rights, as well as accepting political other political ideologies and political minority groups in the government. People in general, especially when I see here, we can change a lot. We can call, we can email our local MPs, people in the parliament, and the governments who we vote for. And these are the people who can actually change these things around the world. I see it as a responsibility as well for those people who live freely in this world, needs to do something for those people who live under very extreme situation. Yeah, and sometimes very surprising here people I see that they don't wear a mask or they don't get vaccinated, and they talk about different freedoms, but some places around the world people don't have a freedom to go to school or to express their opinions, political or ideological opinions.